Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson. This is a post-match review where we have a look at where it went wrong for United in this game against Arsenal, obviously going down 1-0 to Arsenal at home. Another game at home that we've struggled with. And I think the form in the Premier League is depressing, for want of a better word. It's been so good in the Champions League, genuinely good in the Champions League. To see how poor it is at home, honestly, is a nightmare. It's so frustrating because I do believe that this team has got. I think it's certainly good enough to beat Arsenal. We've got some stats here for you. Let's go through some of these. Maguire had 4 shots today, 50% of United shots. Matic, Greenwood, Fernandes, Rashford, all only getting 1 each. Pogba had a poor game today. 1 chance created, 1 out of 3 take-ons, only 1 tackle, only 1 interception, and 3 fouls committed, which was the most. And since scoring twice against Arsenal in his Premier League debut in February 2016, Marcus hasn't managed to score in any of his last 10 games in all competitions against Arsenal, which includes 6 starts. Thomas Partey had a very good game against us, and a lot of people are probably going to bring this up because obviously we were linked with Thomas Partey. And being linked with him means that we clearly missed out on him, whether we wanted him or not. We were linked with him. He had a 93% pass accuracy, 12 out of 13 final third passes, 3 out of 5 take-ons, which is the most, 11 ball recoveries, also the most, 2 interceptions, which was as many as any United player, 2 fouls suffered, and 4 out of 5 tackles won. Very good game from Thomas Partey. The only Premier League season in which United have lost more home games than this was in 2002 and 2014. We're 4 games in. We were unbeaten in our last 13 home games against Arsenal, 8 wins, 5 draws, and it's our first home league defeat to Arsenal since the 1-0 loss in September 2006. We are winless in 6 Premier League home games, scoring just 4 goals. And it's the longest run since February 1990. Oh, it's not looking good, is it? United have lost just 3 of the last 20 Premier League matches, winning 11 and drawing 6, but all 3 have come in the last 6 games, and all 3 against London-based teams. It sucks, this. There's no 2 ways around it. This just blows. Before the match, in my preview and on the watch-along, I'd identified a few different things that were likely to cause United problems, and the doubling up of the wide men for Arsenal and the wing backs with Arsenal's particular formation was something why I was like, no. We can't go narrow against these. What we have to do is we probably go with a back 3. We go over back 3 and we give ourselves options to play out, but we also give ourselves a double chance when it comes to dealing with the threat. Now, ultimately, they scored from a penalty, which it was a soft penalty, but they scored from it, and it was given. So it was a penalty. Now, we conceded that penalty in my eyes because I don't think Pogba was at the races. But the chances that Arsenal were creating, those chances were coming from the wide areas. Bellerin looked good on the right-hand side. He causes problems. On the left, Saka looked good, causes problems. They were isolating Luke Shaw. They were isolating Wan-Bissaka, and they were getting in the mixer, and they were causing us problems. Make no mistake. They was going to score from one of those opportunities if they had enough goals at it. That was where the chances were going to come. United, on the other hand, had no idea how United was going to score. Now, I don't know what we ended up on in terms of total shots, but I think it was probably 7 to them and 8 to us. We didn't have anywhere near enough. We needed far, far more opportunities to break them down. They kept us at bay. They kept us outside of the final third. They made us pass it sideways. Nobody picked it up and played that direct ball into a channel, into a striker, into someone's feet, inside the box or on the edge of the box where they could maybe turn and get something off. And I do believe Ole got this one wrong. I think not only did he get it wrong, but none of the changes were to affect the shape. It seemed all of the changes were pretty much player for player, striker for striker, midfielder for midfielder. Even to the style of midfielder to the style of midfielder was eerily similar. There was no At no point did we gamble and push extra men in. Like, at no point did he go like, let's go 4 forwards and fuck it. None of that happened. All that we saw was like for like substitution. So I do put the blame on it. What I'll say is in addition to this, in addition to just saying, yes, okay, I'll put the blame on Ollie for this one, that doesn't mean sack him. I don't know where this has come from. Maybe it's Arsenal Fan TV. That they have to get so focused on that Wenger in, Wenger out thing that it's permeated into all sorts of fan bases now and become an acceptable discourse that you have to be manager in, manager out. The fuck sort of bullshit binary sort of thinking is this? Like, where's your nuance? Where's your intelligence? Where's your depth? And it shows up the fucking helmets that are on Arsenal Fan TV, but they can only have an in versus out argument. They can't appreciate football on a deeper level and understand what goes on at a football club and how to manage a football club on a different level because they're fucking idiots with no IQ. You can't just have in or out argument. You can say, like I'm saying today, I firmly believe Solskjaer got his tactics wrong on this occasion. But the overwhelming view of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Manchester United manager has been a positive influence. United are undoubtedly moving in a different direction than we have been in any of the managers post Sir Alex Ferguson. He's infinitely better than Moyes. He's infinitely better than Jose Mourinho for this group of players. And I think he's arguably a lot better than Louis van Gaal. It's the first time since the 1st of February in 27 matches that United were held to a clean sheet. Last week was the first time. This weekend's been the second time. That's a long time to be kept away from scoring, or so to be continually scoring. That didn't happen under Jose, under Louis, and certainly not under David Moyes. That happened frequently. Frequently that happened. We've gone on 2 unbelievable runs under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I firmly believe he's at least partially responsible for those. And I firmly believe that the level of consistency that he's able to exhibit, the start of this season aside, is a positive trait that's going to lead to future success down the line for the club. And like I said, today, he got it wrong. Let's hope he improves for next week. That's as far as it needs to go. Now, obviously, as this continues, United end up in 15th this season. You go, well, at some point, someone needs to fix this. But you have to look at the extenuating circumstances. Why was we kept to a clean sheet today? And not just in terms of pure tactics, because actually I thought our tactics, at least on paper, seemed to elicit what was going to be attacking football. I thought we were weak defensively, and I thought we were likely to concede something defensively, but offensively, I thought that we had the personnel to be able to go and do something. And Arsenal aren't any fucking defensive masterclass. They sit deep and they occupy space like all shit small clubs do. But these aren't a team that are impregnable. You can score goals against them if you create chances. The problem is Manchester United did not create chances today. 8 shots. Maguire had 4, which tells you that they're coming from a lot of set pieces. One of the best chances we had of the game, Marcus Rashford plays in Mason Greenwood. That should be repeating itself 7 or 8 times at least. At least. There's got to be way more of that. Top clubs, top strikers are getting 4 or 5 chances every single game. And sometimes not even scoring those. Marcus Rashford, 1 chance. Bruno Fernandes, 1 chance. Greenwood, 1 chance. And I guess even Matic, if we're calling that a chance, 1 chance. You're not going to win games emphatically with 8 shots. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. And we could talk about Paul Pogba. Today I thought he was very poor. I think the stats show that he was very poor. But I think Ollie got it wrong in terms of not substituting him. We were talking on the watch-along just before the mistake he made for the penalty that I think it'd probably be a good idea to take him off and get Donny van de Beek on. We didn't do that. And he conceded. Now, you can lay all the blame you want on players. They make mistakes. It happens. But it was a poor showing today from Paul Pogba, and I question Ollie keeping him on because I think it was very obvious around the time he was making that mistake that he had faded. He was second to the ball. He was never putting any pressure on the opposition when they had the ball. His touch looked sloppy for someone that's got a phenomenal first touch. So why was it not noticed? Why was Pogba allowed to drift through the game, clearly lacking match sharpness? The 60 minutes would have been a good run out for him and probably prepared him for future games down the line. But not good enough today. Simple as. And, you know, formation-wise, I like a two-striker system. I think it can work well. I think going narrow against a team that plays wing-backs and as a forward three is not smart. And I think matching up against them with a back three, back five would have been far better option for United in this instance. Wasn't to be the case. Let's see what you guys are saying in the questions. Ross saying, I don't understand why Pogba ain't got the Rona. He ain't got the Rona. There's no excuse. He was awful, disgusting performance. Doesn't look like he was fit. Second home game in a row that we set up passively with no threat or ability to play past a press. This is Louis or Jose. You'd be banging on about getting a manager from the United DNA. Would I? Do you want to go back and watch all of my fucking videos under the reign of both of those managers and apologize for being fucking well wrong? Why do our players only play like they want to win when they're already down? I wish I knew, because Paddock FC do the same fucking thing. No excuses, says Dave. We were awful. To be fair, they conceded a least goal this season so far, but they are far from defensive, somewhat or other. I didn't see what that said. Got a super chat here from Jogo Benito. How come United can't pass through the press like a City? United have the midfield to do it now. Is it better coaching? City always pass well and create chances when lose or draw, so why don't United have a solid system? Shocking performance. I don't think it's as simple as coaching. Certainly not. There is clearly going to be an element of coaching into this, but Manchester City have rotated through hundreds of millions of pounds of players trying to buy the players who can do this. They haven't developed anyone who can do this, have they? They've literally bought the players who had these attributes already to be able to play this sort of system. So, yes, I do believe Pep's a good coach, but I think he's also been gifted with the funds and the resources and the desire to buy any player that he wants in the world to fit into his system. And City can also struggle and can also press with it as well when they get pressed, and I've seen that happen. United might have the midfield to do it, but I don't think Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are the most press-resistant players, and I don't think De Gea helps. He panics when it goes back to him, and when it goes back to him, he just launches it forward, and when you launch it forward, we don't have anyone that can collect it. We might take the piss out of the guy, and rightly so, because it's not the style of football that we want to see played at Manchester United. But there was a reason why Jose Mourinho liked Marouane Fellaini, and that was because he knew that he had a backline that couldn't pass for shit. And if he bypassed them, Fellaini's chest is like an extra foot, and he would catch it on his chest, and then you would hope to try and restart your possession game at least 2/3 up the pitch, which is what Fellaini's only use was, I guess. How much longer do I see Ollie staying? I don't know. Consistently inconsistent. Honest question, what does McTominay do well? I think he's got great defensive positioning and he's got a phenomenal work rate. But I think on the ball, he's massively lacking. I think he's poor on the ball. What if I've just seen someone saying Ashley Young was a better left back than Shaw. At least he would have put a cross in. Right. This is just, I'm sorry, mate. This is absolute bollocks. Luke Shaw isn't a great left back. Defensively, is infinitely better than Ashley Young ever would have been. And as for putting a cross in, Ashley Young's crossing is worse than mine. And who are you putting a cross in? Why are you putting crosses in to Greenwood and Rashford in the air? It's about knowing your strengths, knowing how these teams fit in, and knowing how your players fit in. This is the whole thing about, like, if we'd have had a Fellaini today, we might have done better because of the way we were playing. But if you'd have put Ashley Young in this team, he'd have put 11 crosses in for no one. I was going to frame one of those things off the Stat Zone app where it had Ashley Young, 11 different crosses. Can't remember which game it was, a couple of years ago. Fucking 11, no one. Not one single cross. Not at one point did he go, Joe, what? I put 7 crosses in today. None of them hit the target. I'll fucking leave it. No, just keeps going. persistent. Anytime he gets on a ball, just fucking give him away possession in good areas. Ridiculous. De Gea played more forward passes than any midfielder today. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds like it could be. Someone like a Neves or a younger version of Matic, essential for this team to succeed. I think you still got good players in midfield. It's not always necessarily about buying. I think it's about getting the right decisions in terms of the players that you want to play today. And ultimately, I don't think Ollie got the team selection right today, or the tactics and formation right today, should I say. I think that's the top and bottom of it, I would say. Great example of why Ollie should have been backed in the summer ahead of the busiest season of football in modern days. Where do we go from here? Regroup. Go again next week. What else can we do? Got a tough game against Everton. They're going to be... Did it finish 2-0? I saw it at 2-0, actually. Let's have a look. 2-1. So Everton are going to be looking at a bounce back after their loss against Newcastle today. We obviously need to bounce back. So let's hope that we can do that. Until then, I'll say cheers for tuning in, everybody. Been a pleasure having a wee chat with you all. I'm going to head over and do a bit of a interactive Q&A with some of the patrons over on there at the minute. So if you'd like to join in, there's extra videos. There'll be a commute cam coming out in the morning as well as vlogs and all sorts of stuff. If you're interested in all that kind of shit and you want to support the channel, especially as we're getting locked up again, link is in the description for that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.